So, there's a new Doctor Who. Now, if you're like many Americans, you may be putting a question mark at the end of that name and saying, Doctor Who? Yeah, it's a sci-fi show that's been actually on in England for, I don't know, like 40 years now, but this is kind of the new version. It's like the third or fourth season of the new version. And it's this amazing show that I knew nothing about until about a year ago. My brother introduced me to it, and now I'm addicted. I love it. It's so much fun and very, very smart. And the guy who plays Doctor Who right now, his name is David Tennant, and he's just a genius, and I love watching him at work. So that's how I got hooked in to the show Doctor Who. But if you haven't seen it, I suggest you give it a chance. But this is an interesting thing because they just announced the new Doctor Who is this guy named Matt Smith. Now, you probably actually know a Matt Smith. It's a common enough name. I do as well. Hey, Matt. But this is a different Matt Smith. He's 26. He lives in England, which makes sense since it's an English show. And we'll be playing Doctor Who. And I actually got a chance just to see a little bit of an interview with him. I think it's up on YouTube. In fact, I'll post it here below on the Rollin' with Dice blog so you can check that out. Looks like a pretty cool kid and should do a good job as Doctor Who now. But one thing you have to understand about Doctor Who, it's different than like James Bond, who's had many people play James Bond and that kind of thing, because in Bond, it's like the same guy except he looks completely different and there's never an explanation why. In Doctor Who, it's actually part of the storyline every time the Doctor turns into a new person. It's actually part of the legitimate story arc. And so it becomes this really interesting look into this one character who is played by all these different people, but is still the same character. It's really, really fun, and I can't wait to see how they do this new one. But again, main thing is you probably don't watch Doctor Who. Not many Americans do. You can catch the reruns on Sci-Fi Channel. It runs originally on BBC, which of course is in England. Unless you live there, you probably don't get that. So check out the reruns on Sci-Fi. See what you think, because it's a really, really fun show and an incredible, incredible show, especially if you love sci-fi. So then you don't have to ask Doctor Who. You can be an expert.